What is going on, everybody? RonMan coming back at you, and today we're taking a look at the Bugs Bunny birthday blowout for the NES. Also, if you're new here and you like my content, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as well as that bell notification so you stay up to date with RonMan Gaming. The Bugs Bunny birthday blowout for the NES was developed and published by Kemco, the same team who developed and published the Mac Venture series also for the NES. Birthday Blowout is an action side-scroller where you take control of Bugs Bunny as you make your way through 6 stages, all with 4 rounds each. The story is that it's Bugs' 50th birthday, and while on his way to his party, many of the other Looney Tunes characters become jealous and decide they will try to stop him from getting to his party. And a big spoiler alert here, the other characters are not actually jealous of Bugs, but rather, they're just trying to stall him so they have more time to set up his party. That's wholesome. Bugs can attack at close range by using a hammer. The hit detection in this game is actually not great, and being that this hammer is really the only means of defending yourself, it can oftentimes be a problem. It took some time to get used to it, but you cannot attack the enemy so much as you have to attack the empty space in front of an enemy, at least if you want to avoid taking any sort of damage yourself. For example, when I was fighting Sylvester, I struggled to land a hit on him. He kept hitting me first. Just look at how awful this is. But later in the game, when I was fighting Foghorn Leghorn, I had figured out how it works, but notice how I'm not actually hitting him? Yeah, this was annoying. Also, I really hate that when you take damage, you'll be temporarily unable to attack. While those stars are spinning around your head, you cannot attack. You can still move, just not attack. Throughout the stages, you'll notice many carrot tokens. These act like currency, which is then used for the minigame, which occurs after every round. It's pretty much just a bingo-style slot machine. To play, you need 10 carrot tokens, and the goal is to get at least 3 in a row. Should you succeed, you'll win extra lives. The carrot tokens, once collected, will then turn into Warner Brothers platforms which you can then use to stand on. You have a pretty generous life meter as represented by the hearts on the left side of the screen. Occasionally, you'll find heart tokens which replenish your life. The goal of each round is to get to the end and collect the giant carrot. Most of the time, you'll have to deal with a boss, which is always one of the Looney Tunes characters, but sometimes a stage will just end without a boss. Each level is pretty big and oftentimes not straightforward. They're never maze-like, so you won't get lost, but you can take your time exploring while collecting carrots. This game does not offer checkpoints, so if you die, you'll go back to the beginning of the stage. This game is not too difficult, but it can be really annoying to have to replay a whole stage just because you made a mistake. This game does feature beginner's traps like platforms that disappear, or areas that you'll think you're supposed to jump to, but as it turns out, there's nothing there and now you're dead. Again, having to go back and repeat the whole stage is kind of annoying. There were times where I just became impatient and would rush through the whole level without collecting anything. The music here in Birthday Blowout is okay. It's not amazing, but it does have that hint of Kemco, and that's a good thing. In terms of graphics, I think this game is painfully mediocre. The character sprites are decent, I mean you can tell who everyone is, and the stage environments are not bad, but I found the bigger graphical problem is with the animations. When I attack an enemy, they just kinda warp backwards. When a boss dies, they just flop over. These are just a few examples, but the whole game is littered with poor animations. Another weird anomaly with this game is that the screen scrolling is kinda choppy. It may be hard to tell just by watching this video, but I did find it to be slightly distracting. It's definitely not as smooth as other contemporary titles. If you happen to own a copy of this game, throw it in and you'll see what I mean. Another big problem with Birthday Blowout is the pacing. The game is far too long and there's not enough variety to keep it interesting or fun. There's also no save feature or password function. Like I said earlier, there are 6 stages, each with 4 rounds. Each stage has a unique environment. For example, stage 1 is a nice looking grassy plains and stage 2 is a desert. But each round in stage 1 is the same grassy plains and each round in stage 2 is the same desert. As a result, each stage feels like it drags on and on. It also doesn't help that the gameplay never changes. There are no water levels or shooter levels or auto-scroller levels. This game does not feature multiple characters or extra power-ups that add abilities. Nothing like that at all. Each level is practically the same. 6 times 4 equals 24, so that's 24 levels of doing the same thing. When I first started this game, I actually really liked it. I thought the controls were decent, I liked the music, and it was just fun. I thought I had stumbled upon a really great NES game that no one ever talks about. But by the time I finished it, which by the way took me about an hour and 30 minutes, I was just so bored and ready to shut this off. Overall, it's not the worst NES game, but it's also not a good NES game. I think this game would have been better if we cut it right in half, just give 2 rounds per stage. It wouldn't fix the repetitive gameplay, but it would be at least a start. Once we have the game shrunk down to a considerable size, we can start adding in some unique stage designs and abilities and really make this game something unique. But sadly, that's not what we got. We just got a really long, drawn-out, boring game. It's fun for a little bit, but it really overstays its welcome. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is RonMan, and I will catch you in the next video.